I got a question for you, 49er fans. Do you think the 49ers are ready for this matchup against the Chiefs? Obviously, we understand what it represents. It's a Super Bowl rematch from last season. It's been, again, a situation where the 49ers just haven't been able to get past the Chiefs under Kyle Shanahan. Obviously, whether it's Brock Purdy at quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, it really didn't matter who the QB was. The 49ers have just really struggled beating this team. So when you look at all the teams across the NFL and you just think about that one team that has your number, it's been the Chiefs. And so with this game coming up, obviously the 49ers get a huge win against the Seattle Seahawks. Ton of great momentum to come away from that game. Still a ton of things that you can learn. Obviously, the 49ers trying to get as healthy as possible. Doesn't seem like they will have Christian McCaffrey available for this one. Still looks like they're targeting after the bye for his return. But you had guys step up like Isaac Guerendo. Now, I know Jordan Mason did get a little dinged up in that one, but from everything that we've heard, it does sound like he should be good to go in this game against the Chiefs. Obviously, you're going to have a rookie out there, Dominic Pooney, who doesn't have the scars as the rest of the 49ers players. You got a lot of rookies out there. You probably have Malik Mustafa back, who's day-to-day with his foot. I think we'll see a lot more Renardo Green. Hopefully, we'll get Mooney Ward back for this matchup, but it does appear for the most part, the 49ers are going to be, and the health is what it is. It does sound like Jonathan Feliciano could be returning from IR here pretty soon. We'll get confirmation on that. But again, the original question is, are the 49ers ready to face this team? Because it's not about a physical matchup, in my opinion. It's not about, X's and O's, the Jimmies versus the Joes, coach versus coach. This is like a mental hurdle that I think that the 49ers have to overcome. I really do think that this game will have implications further on because obviously the Chiefs are, of course, going to be favored to return in this matchup, favored to go back to the Super Bowl, go back to the AFC Championship game. Obviously anything can happen, but they're looking to three-peat. No team has ever three-peat before, and so there's a lot on the line. The Chiefs haven't been playing great ball, but somehow they've still managed to remain undefeated throughout the season. So what is it going to be? What version of the San Francisco 49ers are we going to get? Now, remember being at that game in 2022, it was still Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. It was actually the first time Brock Purdy had ever entered a game in regular season action. So I actually got to see Brock throw the ball for the first time in a game in that one because unfortunately the 49ers had gotten blown out and they went into kind of garbage time. But the history, the last game that these guys played against each other, obviously being the Super Bowl and coming down to an overtime loss, do you think the 49ers are prepared for this? Are they matched up for this? Obviously, this season has been a lot of ups and downs, 3-3, lost couple games that they shouldn't have lost. They had in the bag, and that 10-point lead in the fourth seems to be a common theme. And of course, you have the Chiefs coming in who won off a 10, they came back from a 10-point lead in 2 Super Bowls. So what I'm curious to see is how this team responds mentally. Are they flat? Are they executing at a high level? Are they getting penalties? Obviously, that's going to be another conversation for another day because I think a lot of fans across the league, not just 49er fans, have seen some of the preferential treatment that the Chiefs have gotten. But again, that's not an excuse. And I've talked about this all the time. One of the reasons why I really didn't want to hammer home on the penalties after the Super Bowl, it's because if you took the control into your hands, yes, are penalties going to change momentum, take or give, possessions? Yes, that's a part of it. It's unfortunate. But if you play your game, you execute your way, you should be able to overcome these things, and you should be able to put yourself in a position where a bad call from the ref isn't going to be the end all be all. So you have to put yourself in the best position to ensure that bad calls aren't going to impact you because you're already playing your best version of ball. And I really hope that's the version of the 49ers that we see against the Chiefs. You know, the Chiefs, I get it. They have been a team that has been really hard for the 49ers to get by. But at the same time, you got to get the monkey off your back. And this feels like a great opportunity. I heard a lot of fans, surprisingly, in the offseason, some comments, especially when we did our record predictions and stuff like that, when the schedule came out, is they said that this game against the Chiefs doesn't matter because their AFC opponent, it's not a playoff game. It doesn't matter. It's just another game. I full-heartedly disagree with that. There is a element to this game that is massive, especially for the San Francisco 49ers, because of the same things that we've talked about. They haven't been able to beat this team. And this team has been one of they're the main reason they don't have 2 Super Bowls. So this is a huge mental game. This is a huge, again, yes, does it have the same implications of a Super Bowl? Does it have the same implications of a playoff game? No, it doesn't. But that doesn't change the importance of being able to prove to yourself as a team that you can get past this Patrick Mahomes led Chiefs team. Spagnuolo versus Kyle, that's a mental thing that we've got to figure out, because Spags always plays the 49ers offense really, really well. Obviously, Andy Reid, being able to get Andy Reid and shutting down that offense, and Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and taking care of those guys. You know, they're a little bit banged up. They don't have Isaiah Pacheco out there, but they do have Kareem Hunt, who has returned and has been playing well for them. Obviously, they're down their top 2 wide receivers in Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice. So, but that doesn't change anything. You know, 49ers are injured. The Chiefs are injured. It's about overcoming, and it's about showing up and playing. So this is a big one to me. This one means a lot, especially like if I'm putting myself from a perspective of 49ers players. I do believe players in that locker room think this is a big game. They think it's for the same reasons that we're talking about. It might not be a big game, like I said, because it's going to count against them in the NFC standings or playoff seeding, you know, in regards to the NFC. But this is a huge game mentally. This is a mental hurdle. And it kind of feels like that's been the theme of this season. They've already had their backs against the wall in multiple games. You know, you think of the Patriots game, it was already like, oh, you got to win this one or everything's going to come crashing down. And then it was, you know, against the Seahawks, well, you got to win this game or else everything's going to come crashing down. So they've already kind of been in this headspace where they have to perform. So I think that actually bodes well for them heading into this game against the Chiefs, that they have to win. They have to win this one. They got to get the monkey off the back. They have to clear the conscience. They have to be able to move past this. This is a win for the soul of the San Francisco 49ers. That's what this is. This is a proving to them that they can beat this team, because that little extra bit of confidence, if they do face this team again in the Super Bowl this year, will do wonders to be able to be like, we know we can take you down. We've done it before, versus you're facing them again in the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in the Kyle Shanahan era, and you still haven't been able to beat them in the regular season, and you're about to go into a Super Bowl game against them. The mentality is so different. So I just want to know, do you guys think that the 49ers are ready to win this game? If I had to answer my own question, I do think they are. I do think that with how they responded to Seattle, I think they're ready to win this game. Obviously, it all is dependent on how they execute and who shows up. But I think from a mentality standpoint, I do think they're taking this seriously, and I do think they're going to treat this and as the same way that I've discussed. That they got to get this one, and they got to get past this team. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.